Good evening, Crimson Tide Nation, and welcome to the 33rd edition of Crimson Tide Live right here on Alabama at the Voice of College Football from yours truly, Jackson Johnson. And guess who is back from his vacation? Coach Johnny Burts, as we go over our take on the latest news and notes on the Alabama Crimson Tide, all right here on Alabama at the Voice of College Football. No, you are not seeing Jeffrey from Only Talk Sports, unfortunately, because the bat signal has called him to a different location. But rest assured, he will be back Thursday night for the Alabama call-in show. Thursday nights while we take your call. Don't you worry. He is coming back this Thursday. But no worries. But last Monday was a pretty awesome show, but luckily this Monday is going to be another awesome show right here for all of you. How you doing today, good buddy? How was your
Uh,
vacation?
it was great. It was great. I can tell you, going over, we were in, I guess, Central Europe. You know, the old Yugoslavia. We landed in Belgrade, Serbia, and then we went to Bosnia, Sarajevo, and then down to Dubrovnik in Croatia. Then back and everything. And I can tell you what. Bosnia, the landscape, that country is, I mean, it's unbelievable. So beautiful. You got the snow capped, mountains and unbelievable. And then Croatia, you go to Croatia and then the coast. I mean, they've got hundreds of islands right off the coastline. And so we were in Dubrovnik and then Sarajevo and Bosnia. And I mean, stunning. I mean, just really, really stunning. And the good news, we were in Sarajevo, and the dollar, if you think about value, the dollar, uh, a dollar is worth like twice as much in Sarajevo as it is here. So the point I'm trying to make is it's very inexpensive. I mean, if you pay $5 for a Happy Meal here, you're gonna pay $2.50 over there.
There we go.
Oh yeah,
And we
and
have a
it
comment
was
from Mr.
awesome.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We have a comment from Mr. Nick Harden, and he says, I've been subscribed, but y'all do have good content. We thank you very much for tuning in to Alabama with the Voice of College Football, Nick Harden. Tell your friends, family, and the cashiers at pubs about the magic that Alabama at the Voice of College Football is bringing you.
Where you from, Nick? Let us know where you're from.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. Let us know. But of course, before we get the show started, we've got some YouTube memberships. 6 more days until Easter. And what that means is for $2.99 a month, you can get a loyalty badge next to your name. In the comments and in the live chat, and custom emoji to use in the comments and in the live chat, and you get a member shout out just by becoming a Crimson Faithful member. For $4.99 a month, you can become a Saban disciple. And that's all by getting priority replies to comments and access to a monthly hangout from yours truly, Jackson Johnson, Coach Birch, Jeffrey at Ollie Taught Sports, Manny Wilson, and Brady Quoto from the Alabama Primetime Live Show that is near you Tuesday nights. And the big one, the Bear Bryant Legends tier, where you can connect on social media with each of us. And you can give out content requests of any kind, and neither rain, nor sleet, nor snow, nor bad weather of any kind will put a stop to us from fulfilling your request on Alabama at the Voice of College Football. Let me tell you something, folks. You're going to want to tune in. And what I'm doing here is putting in the chat of the Alabama at the Voice of College Football YouTube membership invite. So it's all there. So if you want to come on in, it's all here. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. In the chat, all right here. Come on in. Come on in. It's all there. And of course, the top Easter treat for college football fans, especially for for this Easter on 420 while you're eating your chocolate is the disputed national champions, college football's historical 1990s reset, written by Mark Rogers, where you'll learn about what happened during the 90s, how the decade changed sport, why the championship results should be questioned, how to critically think through the snares, and to appreciate the accomplishments of teams that were not recognized as champions. This book provides an in-depth analysis of the changes, controversies, and outcomes that defined the decade of college football. It challenges readers to explore and critically evaluate the decisions that shaped the national championship landscape. Unlock the mysteries of college football's most debated decade. Grab your copy now. Well, we were going to be starting off with our take on the QB controversy, but first, an Alabama legend has passed away today. Bill Oliver. And I just gotta tell you, man, like, he was a legend. Like, when he played there and when he coached there. And Coach, you know a little bit more about than I do. Like, you saw it firsthand in person.
Yeah. Coach Oliver was, I mean, you might call him the godfather of the press man. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody today is kind of press man and that kind of stuff. He was like the godfather of it. I'm not saying he invented it or anything to that nature, but that guy perfected it. And back in the day, this would be the 80s. You know, he was at Clemson. You know, of course, he was Alabama, you know, alum, played in 61, that era with you know, for anybody older, that was Coach Bryant's first national championship, 1961. He was a player there. And then, of course, coached. He was at UT Chattanooga for a period of time. And then for a period of time, he wound up at Clemson. And then, you know, he was just a journeyman coach. But I would say when he was at Clemson, that's when he really gained some notoriety because he was like not the inventor, but he was like the godfather of the press man. And he had a video, VHS, VCR. Anybody remembers that? If you're old like me, he had a one of those coaching tutorial videos out there. And I don't know how much money he made off of it, but I don't know too many coaches back in the, you know, the late 80s, early 90s that did not have that video and would sit there and study and learn from him. And then, of course, he came back to Alabama and with Coach Stallings, and obviously great job in the secondary, George Teague and all those defensive backs back then. And eventually became the defensive coordinator. And I don't know what was going on with the turmoil back then in the mid 90s. That's when Alabama went into the funk. But supposedly, he was supposed to be the coach that would replace Coach Stallings. Didn't happen. He wound up leaving, wound up at Auburn. There you go with Terry Bowden, that kind of stuff. Wound up being interim head coach at Auburn. And I don't know. I guess it was too much animus against, you know, his University of Alabama roots that they did not promote him to head coach. They wound up hiring Tommy Tuberville to be the head coach. And as far as I remember, Coach Oliver quit. He just done. He had made his mark. He had proven he probably deserved better. Well, I know he deserved a lot better treatment than what he actually received from both Auburn and Alabama.
Yeah.
I know he wound up, you know, he's Alabama, you know, state Alabama, you know, Hall of Fame member and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, that guy was incredible. He was a great defense coordinator, and he was a godfather of the press man. Anybody my age, and we had those videos back then, and if you wanted to technique and learn what he was teaching, and you were like, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. So he was the man. He was the godfather of the press man, and everybody's, you know, been doing that ever since. So he deserves a lot of love And I hate, I think he was around 85, and
Yeah.
I hated to hear that today because he was genuinely a good guy, deserved a lot better treatment than what he received.
Yeah, because it was like you mentioned that he got a bad break from Bama, and it was like Mike DeBose replacing Gene Stahl. I was like, ugh, that's just not right.
Yeah, I got to study more what was going on. And you talked to Feinbaum, dig him about what you know, bring it back and let's figure out. I'd like to know a little more insight with regard to what was going on. The politics back then. You need whenever you talk to bring up Brother Oliver. Everybody called him Brother Oliver.
Yeah, that's what I saw today.
Yeah, Brother Oliver, and um, bring him up. I'm sure Feinbaum's got a lot to say with regard to what was going on at that period of time, but I think he got thrown under the bus, and I don't know. I mean, back then there was too much politics in sports. I mean, as far as coaching, too much. People want power and that kind of stuff. Well, I mean, it never ends. It's still that way today. I'm not being foolish with regard to what I'm saying, but that was at the apex, and it killed Alabama for about 10 years because they had some power brokers in there that would just you know screwing the whole deal up. But yeah, bring up Brother Oliver to old Coach Feinbaum when you get a chance. He'll have a lot to say.
Oh yeah, I mean, because it's like next time I call Ed, which will probably be sometime tomorrow, or or probably around like Thursday, Friday, like something like that. But either way, I know I'll probably be calling
Well,
it.
I would say this: ask him what was his take back when all the power brokers at Alabama, and then Coach Stallings was being forced out, or I don't know what's going on, and then why Alabama did not turn to Bill Oliver, and then next thing you know, he's at Auburn, which tells you
Yeah,
something right there. Somebody pissed him off.
yeah, because it was just like Oliver, he was a good dude. The boss, he
Hmm.
he was a perv.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, Bill Oliver, I call him the godfather of the press man. Corners and safeties, coverage. I mean, that guy was a godfather of the press man. He was the guy. Everybody had that video. I don't know how much money he made off of, but he made a bunch because all of us were watching and listening and studying. And he was at Clemson when he made that video too. And
Yeah.
then came to Alabama, and look what happened.
Uh-huh.
So anyway,
But yeah, it's
good
a
man,
le-
good man. I hated that today. Good man.
a legend will be missed,
Yeah,
but not forgotten.
no.
It's like nobody in
It
Tuscaloosa.
needs to be appreciated a lot freaking more than he is.
Yeah, because I mean, because like he was a part of the national title squads from the
Oh yeah,
60s, 70s, 1992. Boom.
oh yeah. That's Brother
Yeah.
Oliver, Coach
Well,
Oliver.
and for those that are like scrolling through YouTube, you can find the Alabama Football National Championship VHS from Keith Jackson, although it's not VHS, but you can find it. And instead of it having like the 20s, like one video being the 20s, 30s, 40s, and the other being the 60s, 70s, you'll find where it has like all 12 of the national titles at that time when this video was made. And you'll find the 60s, 70s part of it where you see like Bill Oliver talking. And he was talking about what it was like being teammates with Pat Trammell and what it was like playing for Coach Bryant. And he also gives his take on when the goal line stand was happening in 1979 in the
Yeah,
79 Sugar
mhm,
Bowl.
yeah,
So it's like I remember that where it's like when that whole deal where Goodman got stopped short
yeah,
on third and fourth. Like, nope, not today, son.
yeah. And he played in Pat Trammell. For anybody that doesn't know, was quarterback. He was from Scottsboro, Alabama. which is a remote northeast part of Alabama. And it was just Coach Bryant. I've always heard Coach Bryant had so much respect for Pat Trammell. And then unfortunately he wound up being becoming a doctor, and then unfortunately he died young with cancer. And I know Coach Bryant was really upset. I don't know what the right just was really affected by the death of Pat Trammell, because he was so young, so good, so smart, and such a good quality. When he came back to Alabama, Pat Trammell was a guy that Coach Bryant leaned upon because he had such character and stuff like that. So it was such a tragedy. And Bill Oliver was a teammate.
Yeah.
1961, that championship team.
There we go. I mean, like we said, sad, and it's like gone, but not forgotten.
Yeah. And for all of you out there, this is a multi-generational. We go way back. I'm the guy that goes way back, and we can stay. Here we are, 2025. We're fixing to talk about that dadgum spring game here in a second.
Yes, we are. And Nick Harden is back, and he says, "When y'all get a chance, can you tell me more about this quarterback Alabama's trying to recruit?" You're talking about that young man that's from 2027, am I right? Because I was looking on Touchdown Alabama, and I believe that's the guy you're talking about. Is that correct? Confirm with us. Let us know.
There you go. Yeah, for sure.
All righty, we've got the quarterback room, the moment you've been waiting for, because it's like we've been hearing Kayla DeBoer on today's press conference, and we've got this article from Charlie Potter at On3 for Bama Online.
Mm-hmm.
And he went over the fact that if the quarterback battle was over today, he would go with Simpson. Now, does that mean he's going to be going with Simpson for 2025? Does it mean that he's going with Keelan Russell? Or is it like a hint for Austin Mack to move up a little bit? Like, that's going to be the question there. Because like it's like a stock market. It goes up and down, up and down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what are you thinking about all this, Coach?
Well, I think right now it's his job. I watched spring game, and it was you couldn't gather anything from it. It was so scripted.
Thanks.
It was just Hodge. Now NCAA, they've ruined the spring game because these teams are not going to go out there and let go live. They're all in their skeleton outfits and stuff like that. Nothing's live. It's two-in touch, and so you gleaned nothing. You could not take one thing away from what you saw. And so here we go again, because now teams are not going to put players out there and let them go full speed and contact and all that kind of stuff, so they can create a highlight film and transfer in the portal, and put their little highlights out there. And so way to go, NCAA, another screw up. And so it was so orchestrated. You couldn't tell. It was two-in touch and crap. It's not what a spring game's supposed to be. But I did like Ty Simpson's footwork. I was watching him and moving those feet, stuff like that. But to be honest with you, it was so two-in touch and all that kind of stuff. It was just, I'm really unsure if the players were even going full speed. I think they were just going whatever, half baked, and just
maybe they're saving their
trying not to get injured and have some tear an ACL or anyway, it was awful.
Well, yeah, the QBs were like they were doing pretty good on the spring game, but it's like there are a lot of people bragging about Simpson, bragging about Russell. They're bragging about Austin Mack, seeing what he was doing.
Well, yeah. but you couldn't tell anything about that spring game. Although now Keelan, I did see him throw a pick into triple coverage, and I'm like, yeah, that's not good. I don't know what he was thinking, but I did see, Ty Simpson do a couple of check downs and stuff like that. I did see a lot of penalty. There were no officials out there. That's how bad it was. There were no officials to blow whistles and stuff like that because you saw penalty after penalty, but there was nobody out there to. So I felt bad for the fans because you couldn't tell anything about that. It was a joke. Spring
Well,
games, historically, spring games are I don't want to say scripted, but they're supposed to be where you finally are in a game situation and you prove your worth. You prove where you need to be on the depth chart, in the fall. But now it's all scripted crap because we're not going to send schools, little videos for highlight crap so they can go in the portal. But I did see, I think this is interesting. If you've got that JPEG or that PDF, I did look. And you may want to blow it up, Jack. I'm sorry. I think I made it a little small. You may see it. You got the magic finger. Yeah, felt like that's a little small. But anyway, you can see that was spring game offense. You can see the offense. Spring game. This is the offense starters that I saw, and people that showed out. I've heard good things about Rico Scott on the offensive line. On the left side, you've got Allen. That's that guy from Norway or Finland.
well, Harden says that Ty was reading the defense a lot better, and Keelan did it on the first play, but he settled down and played better.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. That first play, that interception, man, right over the middle of the field was like gruesome. I was like, "What are you seeing?" I don't know if it's a called route. Sometimes there's called routes. You're gonna throw it to this guy, blah blah. He should be open. We think they're gonna do this and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, but if it's a read, he read it wrong. But you can look up there. Alanen is the guy I want to say from Finland, big guy. And then there's Dewberry. He was from Texas A&M, right? There's Brailsford, and then Jaden Roberts, and then Formby, the guy from Tuscaloosa there. That was the starting. That was the ones they put out there first. And I know we got injuries, so don't start jumping down my throat with regard to that. But I'm just telling you what I saw. And then you see Isaiah Horton out there, and on the right, and then Simpson and Young. There at the running back on defense, you can see Pierre Keenan, Edric Hill, Rousseau over there on the right. Now he would flip, he's stronger or whatever, sometimes right, sometimes on the left. And then I like this name if it's really, but QB Reese.
Yeah.
Is that his first name? QB?
Let me see.
But anyway, he was out.
That's what it says.
All right, well, I'm pretty cool with that right there. QB Reese out there on the edge, and then Caden Jones and Duke Johnson, and so you can see, and then the secondary, lot of good depth in the secondary. I like Alabama's defense heading into the fall, that kind of stuff. But right there, that was who rolled out there first team, first against the first, and then they rolled second team Austin Mack and then those guys, and then a lot of guys were held out, which is understandable. I just didn't like the old the way it was set up, and I felt bad for those fans down there. And you want to see somebody get lit up, you driving down whatever, how many hours to go down there and watch a game, and they're out there in practice, and whatever, and nobody's getting jacked up, and you're not even hearing pads go bam, you're not even hearing that.
Yeah.
So, way to go, NCAA. killing it.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the QB situation. Although it's kind of like I don't think everything's decided all now. It's just we'll know more by the time we
Well,
get close.
I'm gonna beg to differ. I think Ty Simpson is. I think he's. They're gonna roll with him. I don't now. It comes down. I'm not saying. I'm not predicting the full season, but I'm saying that first game, first couple of games, they're going with Ty Simpson. If they weren't, we'd already know something. So,
Yeah,
and I liked what I saw from him. I liked his footwork and everything. I don't know about this scripted crap and what they were wanting to do and all this other kind of stuff, but he's the guy. Get used to it, Bama fans. Ty Simpson is your opening game starter, and he deserves it.
That would be sweet. Like if we can get him be our starter, like officially, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm already just looking forward to it for sure.
I think probably Coach DeBoer. I mean, Coach Saban did it many times. You're going to leave it open, and you're not going to name a starter, or maybe they will. I don't know, but not name a starter. Let it be open so these guys keep busting their butts and trying to think they're going to win the job and stuff like that. But my gut right now tells me Ty Simpson is the man.
There you go.
There you go. That's why they pay me the big bucks. Make it rain. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man. Oh man. That's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but we're gonna lose a defensive back and wide receiver to the portal.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, and
it's gonna happen.
That's the thing that we'll have to look out for, because like the portal is starting on Wednesday officially. Because I remember, and
but hey, Mr. Harden, you got to make a prediction of who you predicting is going to jump the train.
But I remember watching the Bama Standard this morning, where our buddy Stephen M. Smith was on from where we had him on from Iron Bowl week, and yeah, I asked him on the Bama Standard Network on YouTube this morning. And I asked him what's a position we need. We need O lineman, obviously, and we need a tight end. So there's going to be some people looking to go to Alabama to be an offensive lineman for the Crimson Tide. And there's going to be a star tight end somewhere along the line. There's some key guys somewhere.
Oh, we need a left and right tackle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because like we need a tight end like a baby needs milk. I mean, we need to get someone coming on in, rocking and rolling. Because don't get me wrong, we got some star tight ends waiting in the wings, but they're not going to be enrolling yet. I mean, I don't think they can attend college early yet. No.
Well, the thing, Jack, I don't like this because now these guys have gone through spring and going through the crap of going through spring practice. I mean, I've done it, many times and stuff like that, and going through all of this. And now they're letting these, guys transfer portals and that kind of stuff. And then whatever. All right, so now you have an offensive line that number one in the spring, and they played their little scripted spring game just now. And so they're comfortable with each other. They're getting their checks. They're getting their communication, all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, here we go. Here we are. Here comes some new guy thrown in the mix, never been in town. Nobody knows him. Here we come. Johnny come lately. And blah, blah, blah. And then now everybody's supposed to, I mean, it's a professional model and stuff like that. But, I mean, college, these guys are young. All of a sudden these guys show up, and then now a guy was projected in the spring game to be a starter. Now he's second team. What do you think he's feeling? What's the new dynamics with regard to that? So, I just don't like it. How many opportunities are we going to give these guys to float around and find them a home?
Well, And Coach DeBoer talked about his take on the portal in the press conference, and it's somewhere where he was warning everybody that the grass is not always greener on the other side. And that's what he talked about too.
Well, it comes to a point as a coach, you're like, screw it. I'm happy with what I got. I like my players. Just screw it. I don't, Dabo Sweeney, he gets a lot of criticism because he doesn't, lean on the portal for every, but I mean, seriously, there comes a point where you just, continuity and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you got to cut it off. And it's not, and it's not fair to the coaches, not fair to the players. It's not fair to the fans, nobody for the NCAA. All right. Now, all of a sudden, you got these little window. Now you can transfer again. So then you leave, you're at Colorado, you leave, you transfer in Alabama, and then all of a sudden, spring didn't work out the way you planned. So now you're going to transfer in Florida. Duh. What are we thinking?
Yeah. Well, Nick Harden says Bubba Hampton, we can't lose Rico Scott.
I don't think we'll lose Rico.
Oh man, I threw 3 touchdowns in one day when I was in high school. Coach put me in, we'd have won. It's like,
Napoleon Dynamite and me.
Yep, Napoleon Dynamite. That's right. And we got a roll tide to everyone from everywhere. From Ephraim. Roll tide, roll to you too, Ephraim. Thank you for tuning in to today's edition of Crimson Tide Live in the chat. You were in for a wonderful show Monday nights at 6 p.m. Central Time. And you are going to love the college show Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Central Time, where we take your calls. That is for sure. But yeah, I think Alabama will be fine. And I know that there's some worries that we could lose Austin Mack. Like that does kind of worry me a bit because like you don't want to be in a position where you got only 2 quarterbacks that are on your roster. You don't want that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and Mike Norvell, Nick, and Mike Norvell. You can't build a championship team with the portal. Just ask Kiffin. Agreed. I mean, like Kiffin and Norvell. Yeah, I mean, it's like you don't want to get overly reliant on the recruiting classes, but you don't want to get overly reliant on the portal. You gotta have a little bate chocolate, just like mix them both in.
Yeah. Well, I'm going back to quarterback. I mean, it's very rare that you're going to lose 2 quarterbacks in a single season. So, meaning third team. It's very rare the third team would be called up to and it happens, but it's very rare. So, if Alabama is down to Ty Simpson and Keelan, so be it. If Keelan's not happy, I mean Alabama down to an Austin, whatever. But it's very rare you wind up, with a third team quarterback playing during other mop up job, that kind of stuff. You give them some experience and usually a young player and stuff like that. So I'm not too concerned about that. For me, I just feel like it's going to be Ty Simpson and whoever the battle now becomes between Keelan and Austin Mack. But yeah. Ty Simpson's your quarterback right now. And I'm okay with it. I watched him. I mean, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
There's not a quarterback controversy at Alabama. It's Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
Controversy will probably be who's number 2, who's the backup.
I think that's gonna be Keelan. That's number 2. That's no worries there. I just don't want Austin Matt leaving because
Yeah, and as a coach, I mean, as a head coach too, you got to also think how many different scripts how many different controversies do I want to create out there, and how many dramas? I mean, these are little 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. How much drama do I need to generate? Sometimes you got to. I think Coach Saban was and Coach Brian, both of them, just hard asses, and this is what it's going to be, all this other kind of stuff. But we'll see how much of a hard ass Coach DeBoer is.
there we go.
Settle it. Boom. This is the way it is.
There we go.
Deal with it. If you don't like it, transfer.
We appreciate it, Nick. We appreciate you checking out Crimson Tide Live. You're in for a wild ride every week. And Anitra says, "Roll Tide, fellas. Roll Tide, roll to you too." We thank you for tuning in to today's edition of Crimson Tide Live. And we've got several days until kickoff, which, let me see, it's 131 days till week 0, which means 138 days till kickoff of the 2025 Alabama Crimson Tide season. So we're on our way. We're on our way. Magic is coming.
Yeah. Summer.
Where do we begin? It's like there's 104 days summer vacation. So it's like, oh, nope. It's like some of you might have gotten that reference, some of you might have not gotten it, but that's okay. All righty. So we've got some recruiting updates. There's this young man named Sincere Johnson who returned to Alabama over the weekend, and he has solidified the Crimson Tide as a major contender. I know, right? I'm so ready. I'm so ready for 2025 start. And an OV has been set for a while. He says Alabama is a top school for him. Now let's look at what Mr. Brett Greenberg said from 247. Shall we? And let's see. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. He is going to be visiting for May 30th. And he was so excited as he told Bama 247 after announcing his offer. He said, having my family originate from Alabama and to get the offer was amazing. Alabama said they loved his play and that he is the type of dude and linebacker that fits in the program. There we go. The trip was great, as he told 247 Sports' Tom Laurie, following the February trip, just being able to learn the foundation of the team and knowing why Alabama produces as much as they do. Where do things stand after another good experience? Bama 247 checked in with the 6'3", 225-pounder following the conclusion of the trip on Sunday afternoon. Well, let's see. Let's find some highlights of this young man, because I bet you we can find a little something from I forget what that little website is called, from Hootie. Yeah, that's right. It's called Hootie. Like that. There we go. This is where he's bringing that man get out of there ads. We want to show the people some highlights. We want to show people some highlights of his junior season for 2024. Here we go. Let's look at him. Can you see him, Coach?
Yeah.
There we go. There he is. Boom!
Good closing speed, yeah.
There we go. There he is. Tackle for a loss.
I wish I could, if that were a read or just instinct. Oh.
There you go. There he goes. Wait for it. Boom! He got him. Oh, he's waiting for his man. He's going to get him. Gets his man. Oh, he does the mat. Oh, there you go.
He does the body slam.
Oh, yeah.
WWE.
He's better in WWE.
Yeah,
That's
I'd
what I
like to
would.
see if he's reading this so fast. Right there he is. Oh, that's just Power Rush. Good speed.
He is speed.
In the middle.
Boom.
Good closing speed. Yeah, he's a good player. He's a player. Here we go.
Oh, there we go. He's good. No, he's high fiving his teammates. I love that. Ooh. Not today.
Blowing it up. Okay. All
Not
right.
on my house. That's what he says.
All right.
Boom.
Run that. Can you run that back? I just want to see if he's reading or if he's just stunting.
Here we go.
That's the thing.
Here we go.
All right. So there's a pull. All right. So, that's the thing. A lot of times when you're watching this, all right, there's just called stunts, just blitzes, that kind of stuff with linebackers, and then there's some that are reads where he's got to read the, block, guard block downfield and reading, offensive line how they're, the blocking scheme and that kind of stuff, reading the guy in front of you instead of, and so that's a big thing. But if you run it back enough, you learn and like this right here, one play, I'm gonna run back probably 10, 15 times just to see if he's reading, blocks and stuff like that, or if he's just reacting. And see, like that right there, that could be a read, or it could be just him reacting instinct. And the great players are a combination of both reading and reacting. And so if you watch enough film, you can figure out who those guys are. They're reading or they, doing both. Or he's got great closing speed. There he is right there. So he's pass.
Boom. Wait for it. Boom.
Yeah. So I mean, there's an art to watching film. You just learn over time just um, what's going on defensively with schemes they're calling and stuff like that, and if it's a stunt and whether or not he's reading a blocking scheme, reading a running back, or reading quarterback. If you run it back to whatever, then you can get the discipline with regard to each player. Are they going through what they've been taught, what they've been coached, or are they just going just instinct and nothing more?
Yeah.
The ones that just go on instinct get you killed. They may be right one time, but the next time the guy goes 90 yards for 6.
Ooh. Coach, you ready to see a goal line stop?
Yeah, but I wish I could watch it back enough to see if he's saying he's coming hard right off. So pretty much that's called. What would have been interesting right there is if that quarterback would have pulled it, and we'll see. Like he just took off straight in, so that's pretty much called play.
He's about to have a little get a little sack. Here we go. Oh, he's chasing him. He's chasing him. It's like, oh, too violent for the kids. Sorry, we're not showing that to the children.
I mean, he's got good closing speed. I'm not good anything. I just would like to. I need to watch more and more and more, see what's going on with regard to him.
Oh man, we got some magic from.
But it looks good. I would.
Oh yeah.
He's in my head. I'll keep him in my thoughts. 6'3", 225. Heck yeah.
There we go.
He's unafraid. Obviously, he's unafraid.
UPCQB says, let's spread the word for these guys. They've got good stuff. Well, we appreciate it, good buddy. Thank you for tuning in. Lifetime Bama fan. Nice. Oh, man. How long have you been an Alabama fan? That's what I'm curious about. Like, oh, man. Like, were you able to see Alabama football in the 60s, 70s, the 80s, 90s? Like, oh, man. We've got so much to talk about with our subscribers and our followers. And let's see. There was a young man we were somebody, Mr. Nick, was talking with us about, and it's Jameson Roberts. Yeah, here we go. He is a 2027 recruit for a quarterback who is a major prospect. He is expected to take the reins for the Saraland Spartans for 2025. Saraland is one of Alabama's premier high school football programs, and the Spartans are coming off 3 consecutive 6A state championship appearances. Ooh, KJ Lacey was the starting quarterback during that stretch. Roberts is set to be Lacey's successor at Saraland, and he is expected to make a name for himself on the field and on the recruiting trail this fall. He does not hold an offer from any Power 4 programs at the moment, but all signs point to this changing in the future. He was impressed with his visit to Florida. The hospitality and atmosphere were like none other I've ever experienced. The visit was great. He was glad he made it to the swamp, but let's see what else. He is 6'3" and 190 pounds. He started in 2 games, going 33 or 43 passing for 491 yards, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He flashed an ability to make a wide range of throws and display great touch when pushing the ball down the field. Here we go. Let's look at this young man. Boom, he's making some big plays.
That's a blown coverage.
There we go. Oh, fake. He pump fake with his shoulder. That was the funny part. Yeah. I love it. Watch again. Oh, the pump fake with the shoulder. He's like, I want him. I want Alabama to get him. Oh man, dude.
Well, if he wants to play quarterback, he better transfer over to Gulf Shores and play with that coach over there. That guy knows how to coach quarterbacks.
There you go. There we go.
All right, let's see.
Show the shimmy again, QP. Come on. Oh man, oh man, I love the running, but I'm so enamored with the shoulder pump fake he's doing.
He's got a low elbow slot, so. No. Let's see. Now, all right, so let's say right here. I like it where they got a little zoomed in more where I can see. But let's see right here. Oh gosh, that is low. All right, so Jack, pause that. Go back. Jack, go back. All right. So yeah, play it. Play. All right, here we go.
Pause.
All right, so just keep going and pause it. Anyway, quarterbacks. All right, he threw it from his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? He didn't lift it up and throw it over the top. All right, so if anybody's listening to me, and you can see my video or see the video, he's throwing it sidearm, okay, instead of over the top. And there's no advantage in being short. You know what I'm saying? And so when you throw the ball and you're down here and throwing it from here, you're short. Okay. When you're throwing it over the top, you increase your height. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm gonna say it this way. You got to be able to get the ball out any way you can. Yeah, I mean you can throw it underhanded for all I care. You can throw it sidearm. You can throw it whatever. But the first whatever you want to do is be able to throw it over the top. And so when I see a quarterback like this, and his first reaction is to throw the ball low, then I'm thinking you want to throw it over the top, first. So anyway, run it back just one more time and watch how low. I mean, watch how low his elbow is. I mean, this is low.
Low, low, low.
That is low.
Oof. Well,
So
let's see.
we'll see. We'll see. Let's keep going.
Here we go. Let's see this young man brings again. Here we go. Oh, he's looking on his left arm, looking at his wrist. What he's got to do. Oh, there you go. Oh, he's pulling a little Frank Tarkenton. Oh, he's running. He's running.
Yeah, good strength, good balance. All right, let's see. Let's see if he's consistently low with his release. Yeah, low. I mean, that's not a big deal when you're throwing on the edge, but when you're throwing over the middle, all right, where you got defensive linemen, you got linebackers, tall, big, whatever, you got to throw over the top.
Oh, he was
There
running.
he goes. Oh, here's a good angle right here. Let's see where he. See how low that is? Go back. You got to go back. Look, that ball winds up at his hip. Top, right there. I mean, that winds up at his hip.
Oh,
And so, too many times I'm saying that, I mean, it's low, angle. Well, I mean, if you're throwing straight down the middle to a tight end, running to a middle, if you're going to throw it from that low, it ain't going to make it. So, keep going. I'm not trying to be too, but I mean, you got to be able to throw it high. I mean, but everything I'm seeing is consistently low. He's making himself shorter. Let's see what happens here. That was a little more over the top right there. Somebody needs to learn to tackle.
They're not tackling today.
All right, so here we go. Let's bring them again. I want to over critique him.
Oh, no. No.
Fail. Oh, God, you see that? They threw it from his hip. Run it back. He got away with it, but dang. Watch him. He's going to throw this from his hip. He got away with it, but dang.
Well, he's waiting for a signal. Wait for a signal. Oh, play action. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Man, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Good play. Yeah.
Then there's the last play.
All right, here's the last play. Now I'm overcritical on quarterback, so let's see what we got here. All right, I didn't like his feet, but okay. I don't know. I'm just old school. I'm just a lot more critical with. I want first fundamentals, and then second. I mean, everything today seems more whatever. I mean, yes, I don't want a pocket passer. Just stand back there and throw it. Thing. The way we used to do it, whatever they're doing today, throwing it from the hip and all that kind of stuff. Back in the old days, we did the same thing, but we threw it over the top. So I know everybody's now wanting to change slot, all this other kind of stuff. Well, Joe Namath, everybody up Terry Bradshaw, we all threw it over the top. Now, what's the difference?
There we go.
You
Troy
want
V
to be a midget and throw it down here, or you want to be tall? There's no advantage in being short. Tell me the advantage of being short.
Yeah.
I mean, you get in the octagon, you want to be, who would you rather face? Somebody 5'1" or somebody 6'4"?
I'd rather face somebody 5'1".
Okay,
Because then I can.
I mean, everybody today,
I can dribble them like a basketball.
Gurus, whatever, talking about throwing it in, you got to change the angle, all that kind of stuff. Hey, bunch of crap.
A little similar to the Philip Rivers.
Oh, and here's another one that always used to drive me crazy. It ain't how you drive, it's whether you arrive. So here's a floating little duck, whatever. The spiral, when the art of throwing the old tight spiral, and a good tight spiral, you could hear whistling when it came to you and that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, then throwing the little duck. All right. So what happens is if you throw a spiral, guys can catch it. You throw a little duck, I mean, your left finger might wind up bent, broke, trying to catch a duck, and it hits your fingers in some awkward whatever.
Oh, so man, the chat is having a good. They're loving it.
Let's just throw it underhand. Let's just yeah, as long as you arrive, who cares?
And Larry Large.
It always worked.
And one of our YouTube members of Alabama with the Voice College Football, Larry Large, says, "Roll Tide Roll." And a Roll Tide Roll to you too, Larry Large. Appreciate you tuning in to Alabama with the Voice College Football for the 33rd edition of Crimson Tide Live right here on Alabama with the Voice College Football and the Voice College Football @Twitter account. So there we go. Oh, man. I'm excited what this kid can bring. But, of course, he does need a little more work. He does. But I think 2020.
Evidently, these quarterback gurus today, he's 5-star. I'm not saying anything. I mean, the guy obviously has talent and everything, but as a quarterback, I mean, as somebody that's coached a few of them and stuff like that, I mean, I mean, you don't want to get lazy with your, all that kind of stuff, just come on. I mean, this over the top work there's no advantage in being whatever. So I just don't want to be overcritical, and I am. So I apologize to the young man.
Well, he's basically
Gordon. Come on down to Huntsville, Alabama. Let me coach him up a little bit.
There you go. There you go. Oh. Van Edwards says, "What up, chat? Roll Tide. Roll Tide, roll to you too, Van Edwards. Thank you for tuning in to today's edition of Crimson Tide Live right here on Alabama with the Voice College Football." And there was one topic I kept thinking about. Who are the players that stepped up at spring practice? Because I could think of one, like Dijon Lee. He impressed a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. But Rico Scott. Rico Scott.
I mean, it's like
I've heard good things. I've heard good things about Ty Simpson, So several.
Hey, I mean, if Ty Simpson can keep it up, maybe he can be a guest star on The Simpsons. Who knows?
And Jack, help me out. We got a which defensive back, corner 6'4".
Yeah.
Dijon
Lee. That's who I was talking about.
Huh?
Dijon Lee.
Yes. I've heard really, really good conversations about that. I mean, if you can run at 6'4" as a corner, that's some good stuff right there.
There we go. It's always fun watching to see the young man bringing that magic. I can't wait to see what he brings in 2025. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And he's going to be fun to watch for draft scouts in 2027 when they're watching the magic that he brings for 2025, 2026, and 2027. They're going to be like, I want him. I want him. 2028 draft night is going to be fun for all the draft nerds. Like they're going to love him. They are going to love every minute of him.
Hmm.
And we got this article at Bama Hammer from Fansided from John Mitchell. And he said the 5 top players who raised their stock were Ivan Taylor, Rico Scott, Dejon Lee, Isaiah Horton. Horton here's the tide, ladies and gentlemen. Horton here's the tide. And Lotzir Brooks.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
There we go. Oh, he's running. He's running. Running. Boom.
Mhm.
Making that magic. I mean, because we're not going to be overly reliant on Ryan Williams this year. We're making sure that Ryan Williams doesn't do all the work. He's going to get a lot of stuff done in 2025. Don't get me wrong. But while everybody's watching Ryan Williams doing their little double coverages on him, we've got our other receivers that are going to bring that magic, like old Horton. Like that, you left perennial losers in Miami to join an actual winner.
Mhm.
Nothing against Miami, but they tend to choke against Georgia Tech. Bama does not.
Let me ask you, why was Ryan Williams held out of spring?
I think they're just kind of letting them chill for a bit. They're kind of he probably got hurt or something like that, but we'll take a look and see. We're hoping he's all right, but
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
That's not a good precedent to everybody else practices and you don't just because you're supposedly elite. I'm hoping there's something.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that, but they're just trying to make sure that because DeBoer said a week or so ago that Ryan Williams might not do much for the rest of spring practice due to a couple of nicks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry
about. It'll be the players know.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like he's not gonna pull a knee.
If he's walking in apartment, whatever, and dorm, and
no worries, coach.
Training room, and there ain't nothing wrong with him. Players are gonna know.
Nope.
That ain't
no
good.
worries, no worries, coach.
Mm-hmm.
No worries, coach. Ryan Williams isn't a Nico. He doesn't have he doesn't have an entitled daddy and a moron agent. He's got a smart agent. And matter of fact,
that's what the good old NCAA has done to us.
Well, Ryan Williams is a good dude. I mean, like, bro, even paint, like he does the whole paint nails thing because he lets his sister paint his nails because he's being a good brother. So it's like there's nothing to worry about with Ryan Williams. He's a good dude.
Oh, I don't doubt that. That's not my point. But I'm just like, what's going on? Why is he not? I haven't heard anything, and I was just wondering if you had.
We'll see him make magic on fall camp, and we're gonna see him make magic against Florida State because, I can't wait to see how many receiving yards he's gonna get against the Seminoles. Because Florida State's on their little soapbox, drinking their wine, smoking at the porch, saying we're gonna lead the ACC. We're gonna lead the ACC, and we're gonna be seeing Brooks. We're gonna be seeing Horton. We're gonna be seeing Ryan Williams. And whoever we get from the transfer portal at tight end. And we're going to make sure all offensive line's taking care of business for sure. Because we're going to snatch somebody from the portal for sure. And Dejon Lee, he's going to be swatting balls from Florida State. He's going to be swatting them right there. I mean, those Seminoles, they're still so focused on we're going to leave you. They're going to have that attitude. I'm already just ready. I'm ready to rock and roll for week 1.
I can tell.
Coach is just like, oh, what did I walk into? It's like, oh man. But yeah,
All
I'm so excited to see what these young men are bringing to the table for 2025. Like
right.
Horton
Won't be
is,
long.
oh yeah. Hey,
Won't
I
be
mean,
long.
it's only 138 days. 138 days. There we go. And it's going to be exciting. And 133 days until Florida State week on Alabama with the Voice College Football. So we're going to go all big for that week. That we can guarantee.
All right, man. What you got going on the rest of the week?
Well,
You
besides,
working hard or hardly working?
well, I'll be working, of course, but check out Alabama Crimson Tide live on your favorite audio platform on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Podcast, and iHeartRadio. Please leave a rating and a review on Crimson Tide Live, preferably 5-star, but any kind of star is awesome. We want to hear your take on Alabama with the Voice College Football, especially when you listen to it on your friendly neighborhood podcast. Now, Jeffrey's not here today, but that doesn't mean we won't tell everybody to tune in to Only Talk Sports because you want to check him out. Bro is a genius. Like, we need to get him to 3,000 subs on YouTube. Check him out on Only Talk Sports on YouTube and on Only Talk Sports on X/Twitter. He doesn't have an Instagram, but he'll get there. And if he's not, that's okay too. Check him out as he creates magic all over there. You can check out Johnny H. Burts on Instagram, where he creates all kinds of magic there. We gotta find his Twitter somewhere, but I'll find anything. I'm like Winston on Jackie Brown. I find anything. So it's like, I even found DeReal's X account. He only had one follower. So it's like, I'm finding anything. So and you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979 on my personal YouTube channel, where I host the Jacksonian, and I do numerous other things where I do collaborations with buddies of mine. And I'm 334 subs away from 1,000. Apparently, 666 is a bad luck number, and it's like, okay, duly noted. Apparently, you're not supposed to say it out loud, but I'm just like, okay, but I won't say that in front of my buddy Austin because he's scared bad luck. So it's like, although he's like, oh, cat's out of bag, but I won't say it in front of him because I don't want to scare him. But for more updates on what I've got going on Alabama with the Voice College Football or on the Jacksonian, check me out on Jackson VOCFB on X/Twitter and on Instagram and Threads at Jackson Johnson 543-908. And with that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Click on the notification bell to Alabama with the Voice College Football so you never miss another video. Click that like button. Tell your friends, family, and cashiers at Publix about the magic that we're bringing to you on Alabama with the Voice College Football. And roll Tide!